Hey everybody, I'm Ashley, Nathan's sister. I'm sure you've seen me before on some of his videos. I'm actually here today to talk to you about the latest X-Files episode. Nathan suggested that I go ahead and do a video for you guys, just to kind of recap on the episode and give you my thoughts. I've been a huge X-Files fan since as long as I can remember. And let me tell you, there is nothing like X-Files to turn you into a squealy 12-year-old girl again. I mean, this episode was insane. Insanely awesome. I really enjoyed it. And if you did see the previous season, season 10, which if you're a fan, I'm sure you did, they did seem to have a little bit of struggle getting their feet back into the X-Files, you know, but I mean, that is definitely understandable, having been gone for so long. But this first episode of this season, it really seems like they got it down. I mean, Mulder's all there, Scully's all there. I mean, David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson they're great. It's just so good to see them back together every time that they do this. And I know that Gillian Anderson has said recently that this is going to be her last season, which scares me a little bit and makes me sad, but I don't know. You have to take it all with a grain of salt. Maybe she'll be back. You never know. This is a spoiler video, so you guys, if you haven't seen it yet, please don't watch it. It was really nice to see Mulder and Scully together again in a sense that you've seen in so many of the episodes from the old days, like Memento Mori, I believe. It has been so long since I've gone through the old episodes, but I mean, when she was stricken with her cancer, he was constantly by her bedside. Those are some of my favorite episodes. And it was really nice to see that again. Not that I want to see Scully in the hospital bed, but I think you guys understand what I'm saying. It was just, we saw their connection in the previous season, but they were kind of estranged, and it was nice to see them just kind of back to normal. And Skinner's there too, and Skinner, we don't, I guess you could say, I mean, he's a good guy. For the most part, I think, after seeing the episode. So I think you could say he's a good guy, but Mulder's a little bit suspicious of him, and I think because Mulder's suspicious of him, Scully's gonna be suspicious of him, probably. So we start off the episode with a close-up and a zoom-in on Scully, and she is freaking out. She's having one of her attacks, and we find out that basically the last episode of the previous season was all in her head. She was having a vision of the future. This is the way they explained it. I think the biggest bomb that they dropped on us was the fact that the cigarette smoking man confessed to Skinner that he is the father of Scully's child. Now I'm recording this a few hours after I saw the episode, so I'm not as shocked and freaked out, or I mean, I'm still shocked and freaked out, but I was it was insane. I can't believe it, and I honestly don't believe it in a way. I feel like the cigarette smoking man might be lying, just to, you know, he's a major manipulator. I mean, everybody knows this, so I'm hoping that he's lying. And I know that that's a little selfish. It's just the shipper in me who really wants it to be Mulder's child. Also, I mean, poor guy. He's been thinking he's the father for so long, and now it's the cigarette smoking man's child. It's a pretty big bomb to drop. And if you've gone online or if you've seen anybody posting about it, everybody's pretty much livid about it. I was freaking out at first. I'm not like livid about it because I kind of feel like something is gonna happen. They're gonna either explain that away, or I don't know. they're gonna do something to make us feel better about it, I feel like. After I watched the episode, I read a few reviews, and there was actually an interview with Chris Carter about the episode, and he stated that he always knew that William was CSM's child. So he didn't exactly say it in those words, though. He said it in a way that it could still not be his child. I don't know. Basically, the way they explained it is that it connects to a previous episode. I believe it's En-Ami, an episode where Scully, in one of the earlier seasons, she actually went with CSM, with the cigarette smoking man, to his house because he lured her there, saying that he had found the cure for every kind of disease known to man. So of course, you know, being a doctor, she went, and a doctor and a scientist, she went, and he lured her there, and she was drugged, and she was obviously freaked out, and she left, and that was that. And she left with what she thought was the cure for all the diseases known to man, which was or the cure for cancer or something like that. And the CSM just gave her a little floppy disk. That would be 93. He gave her a CD of what was supposed to be the cure. And that was that. That was supposed to be that. But I always felt that episode was a little sketchy and a little weird. Because I mean, when it came down to it, it just seemed like an episode that was testing her faith or loyalty to Mulder, in a way, is what I thought. It was just kind of an out there episode, kind of on the side. But now we know that it actually had a purpose. I would have to revisit that episode because I haven't seen it in forever, so I don't know if there was I don't remember if there was an extra storyline to it. But I know that, yeah, I think it's just all really interesting, and I know that people are hating on Chris Carter right now, and I'm a little annoyed that this came up, the whole William thing, but, you know, I'm interested to see how it pans out. And don't get me wrong, I was screaming like all the rest of you, freaking out, wondering why and how, and they just never give the shippers that thing. It was interesting. While I was watching it, I couldn't really comprehend the fact that, or accept the fact that the last episode of season 10 had really never happened. It was just like visions of her. And I had heard that there was gonna be an alternate universe episode coming up, and I kind of thought that there was like an alternate universe thing going on at the time, and this was a universe where it was actually happening, and this was a universe where whatever, the end of the world didn't happen. But about halfway through, I realized, you know, that can't possibly be it. So, you know, for a second I was a little confused. But I'm glad that the general consensus is that everybody is so happy it's back. They love the episode, because it was a great episode. You know, I feel like it was more X-Files-y than I've seen in a long time. So that was really, really nice, and I'm glad that people really enjoyed the episode, but a lot of people are pissed off at the whole William thing, but we'll just see how it pans out, guys. I'm right there with you. I'm on the edge of my seat. I can't believe they did this to me again. It's been how long? How many years? They brought me back again. I really hope Gillian Anderson you know, let's put it this way. If they're not going to bring Gillian Anderson back, then don't bring the X-Files back. I just don't want to, you know, I really wouldn't want to see that without Gillian. Unless, I mentioned to my brother, it would be really interesting to see a series that's kind of like a prequel to the X-Files. And I'm not talking about the, you know, Mulder and Scully as children. I'm talking about maybe an investigator of the X-Files in the 40s. There was an episode, and I don't remember exactly what it was called, but I remember, I think this was the one with Kolchak. If you guys have seen Kolchak, the actor's name escapes me right now, and I can't believe it because I really love him. He's great and everything. But he was in it, and he played an ex-FBI agent, and he worked on the X-Files. If I'm correct, I really need to go back and watch all the episodes. You know, there was a time when I knew every episode name, I knew who wrote it, I knew, you know, the episode number. It was just, yeah, definitely obsessed with the X-Files, but, you know, a lot of things escape me now, but, it would be nice to have a series about, like, maybe the 40s and the 50s and people investigating at that point. I don't know if any of you guys remember this, but there was an X-Files video game, and a lot of people say it was a horrible game. I think it was called X-Files Resist to Serve. That might be something else, but I think it was that one. Anyway, it was where they used the actual actors. They used David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson, and it was so much fun. And I played it a few months ago, and it's still fun. I mean, it's predictable because you know what's gonna happen, but just to see Gillian Anderson pop up while you're, like, you know, responding to her, and I love that game, and I know a lot of people don't, but I do. So that was the game that I actually stayed in my room after Christmas. I got it for Christmas one year, and I stayed in my room and did not eat or sleep for maybe 2 days. I know I didn't sleep for a couple of days or so. My mom had to drag me out of my room to see the light of day again. So that's all I have for you guys tonight. If you liked the video, please like it and subscribe. Also, I think I might, if you guys enjoyed this, I might keep doing this with, you know, every episode that comes out, every new episode that comes out, and we can, you know, kind of rant and rave together. And please comment below. I really want to hear what you guys think about the episode. I want to know if you hated it, if you liked it, if you're scared, if you're, you know, angry about what transpired, and yeah, let's just, you know, have a discussion. It'll be like the old days on AOL Instant Messenger when all my friends and I would get on there and discuss X-Files. Oh my gosh, I remember the I remember there were a few websites that you would go on, like forums, X-Files forums, and you would go on them and just, you know, comment, and those days, those were the good days. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great night. Yay, the X-Files is back! No matter what happens, no matter what we say about things, you know, whatever, it's back, and I'm happy, and, you know, it'll be fun. We'll see what happens.